This is my granddad. The photo was taken just before he walked in a parade with other soldiers to remember those who have died in the line of duty. My granddad fought in the Falklands War, and he nearly died. He told me he was in the South Atlantic Ocean on a boat called Sir Bedivere when the boat behind him blew up. Little did I know that through talking to him about this, I would become incredibly interested in war. Actually, war and peace. I got a question. Who wants to live in a peaceful world? Wow, looks like all of you? Actually, I kind of expected that. I'm going to bet that I could ask any group of people that question, and I would almost always get the same response. People want peace, right? Don't you think? Well, I think so. But this has caused me to wonder, why does war still exist? You might be asking, how could a grade 5 student like myself get interested in a topic like this? It all started as I learned to read. I love reading. When I go on holiday, I like to read the facts about where I am and what I see. Sometimes I just ignore my mom when she's asking me about something or when she's telling me to stop reading, when all I want to do is keep on reading. But in grade 3, my parents bought me 2 books from the Scholastic book order. Even as I was writing this talk, I felt like I wanted to stop writing and read them. Oh wait, they're right here in my stack of books. What a surprise. These 2 books about World War I and World War II made me want to continue with my path of reading, learning, and reflecting about our world. What I know now is that reading takes us to a different place. Reading shows us how it was like in a different time period. Reading teaches us important lessons. Throughout my reading, I realized that people have a choice. They can choose war or choose peace. When I did some research about my own country, Colombia, I found out that there has been a civil war for 52 years. Colombians have been fighting over power, their beliefs on how to rule the country, and how land should be used. Over 220,000 people died because the leaders of each group were not able to find a peaceful solution. Being a leader during wartime is hard because you are a commander of a lot of people and you have to make a lot of decisions, which might not just affect the enemy, but the citizens too. Sometimes a leader has to choose war in order to achieve peace. I read about a lot of leaders from all over the world. Some had good ideas, others bad ones. Some are cruel, and some led with compassion. Winston Churchill once said, "It is always wise to look ahead, but difficult to look further than you can see." I can imagine that as Winston Churchill led England through World War II, he would have struggled every day to make choices that could cost people's lives. I read a book called Desert Danger, a story about a teenager from England. As I read, I found out that the main character, Tim Jackson, was the same age as the students in grade 12 here at AISR. He was enlisted to go to Africa during World War II, and his job was to find landmines and deactivate them. Doesn't that sound dangerous? Bullets were flying over his head. Deactivating landmines? I could never imagine doing that when I'm 18. I would prefer reading books or playing football, not about risking my life. Wouldn't it make sense to choose a peaceful solution rather than having people risking their lives? Speaking about kids, I read another book about a Pakistani girl named Malala, who changed the world by risking her life for her own beliefs. She believes that children deserve an education. In her case, choosing peace almost got her killed. She used her words, but not everyone believed in her message. At the United Nations, she gave a speech to people around the world, which are now famous words. She said, "One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world." She and I are both saying that we can choose education and peace, not war. So I know from experience that many of us grow up with supportive parents and teachers who help us to solve our problems by using our words. Take me and my friends, for example. We learn how to take meaningful action in creating a more inclusive, sustainable, and peaceful world. We learn about peace, but I'm wondering, is it going to stick? Look at our world from above. It looks so peaceful. No evidence of war. When I read through our history, I realized that choosing peace might even be impossible. I read about an American journalist named Chris Hedges, who claims of the past 3,400 years, only 268 of them have been peaceful and without war. That's just 8% of that time frame. During the 20th century, he claims that 108 million people were killed as a result of war. Can you believe it? How can this be if we all said we want peace? I wonder, though, if we can ever change as a society. Could peace be the force that gives us meaning? You all said at the beginning, we all want peace. Why aren't we making it happen? I would like to recommend for all of you to pick up a book tonight. Find something that interests you and become an expert. Or even relearn something, and take that knowledge with you and change the world. Maybe even change the world. I learned so much from reading. For example, I learned about battles, leaders, people, society, weapons, war, and now peace. I learned that however much I dreamed that wars would end, they'll continue unless we do something. Why can't we just learn from what we read about and from our mistakes? Instead of war, why can't we just choose to make peace? Thank you.